Okay, I'm going to make a little video here about my newest toy. This is the Bialetti coffee maker. It's an Italian coffee maker that is, it's all solid aluminum. It makes espresso, and these coffee makers are used almost exclusively in Italy. I mean, you know, 10 million Italians can't be wrong, right? So I'm going to disassemble it, show you how it goes, comes apart and goes together, and then I'll make a batch of espresso, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, the Bialetti coffee maker basically is just three parts. You have your water that goes in here, and you notice on the side there's a pressure relief valve in case something were to happen and the screen was to plug. You wouldn't overpressure it and possibly cause it to explode. This is your coffee basket. Okay, after you fill this with water, you put that in there and fill it with coffee. And then this is your actual receptacle that the coffee ends up in. Okay, that's what that looks like. Okay, so you fill this with water, you fill this with coffee, and you screw this on the top like so, and you set it on the stove. There's a line etched into the water container. You can see it right there, and they say to fill it up to that line. Okay, so we're going to do that. And you don't want to go more than that, because then when you put your coffee grounds in, you want to make sure that the water doesn't come up into this area, because you don't want to get your coffee grounds wet before you actually make your coffee. Okay, so let me take this over here, and I have some coffee already ground in my grinder here. Okay, there's some finely ground espresso coffee. Okay. Okay, I've put the coffee into the basket, and you notice I've got it pretty well full, but they caution you not to pack it, because if you pack the coffee grounds into there, you could cause it to the steam not to come through the way it should, and it could build up pressure, and that wouldn't be a good thing. Okay, so now I'm going to screw the top on and set it on the stove top, and we'll see what it does. Okay, we have the top screwed on. Something I neglected to mention a while ago is around the top of the coffee basket, you have to make sure that that stays good and clean when you screw it back together, so that you make a good seal between the bottom and top. There's a rubber gasket in there that you want to make sure that it is clean. You don't want to get coffee grounds in there. And what we'll do is we'll look here, and once we start hearing some steam come up from the bottom, we'll actually start seeing coffee come out. Okay, I'm starting to hear something going on. It's been about 3 minutes, and I don't know if you can hear it or not, but you can actually hear the steam making a little racket in the bottom of the pot down there. And what we ought to be seeing here just in a minute is some good espresso coffee coming up through that little thing in the center there. And when it does, we'll have to close the top down, because after the coffee comes out, it starts blowing a little bit of steam out, and it'll spew out here in the kitchen. We don't want that to happen. So let's see if we can actually see. There we go. There comes the espresso. Let me put the top down. Okay. And in just about another minute or two, it's going to start making a little bit of chugga 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 sound, and you'll know it's just about done. I think it's about done. And the way you can tell it's finished is when it stops making that noise. Okay, so it's just about to that point. When all the water in the bottom has been converted into steam, and that steam has come up through the coffee grounds, it'll get quiet. So let's see how our Bialetti espresso maker actually did. Let's see what kind of espresso we got. Looks pretty good to me. You know, it's kind of hard to pour espresso and video at the same time. Okay, let's finish off these cappuccinos with some nice frothy milk. What I did was I put some milk in the microwave and got it good and hot, put it in my French press and frothed it up. And let's see how this is going to work. I believe you could almost do coffee art with that. That looks pretty. I'm going to have to get Tom Blanchard to show me how to do that stuff. So that's the finished product, using the Bialetti Espresso Express and a good old French press and some milk. We have a couple of beautiful cappuccinos. Thanks, guys. And for an impartial judge, my granddaughter Mallory is going to try the cappuccino. Try one, Mallory. See what you think.
It's good.
Is it good? Good.